The best part of waking up could be Folgers in your cup. Hi, I'm Paul Begley. I'm drinking Maxwell House. This is not a commercial. I'm not endorsing anybody's products, but I want to say this. When you start the morning off with a good cup of coffee, get the brain cells clicking, get your spirit moving in prayer, you guys can, you know what? You can have a great day. Hi, I'm Paul Begley, and I've got a fascinating revelation and potential situation. I've got this is evangelism. This is Perry Stone, and if you ever get his magazine, The Voice of Evangelism, and it's free, so you might want to do that. I'm not endorsing any products here, but this is a free magazine. You might want to do that. Anyway, a fascinating story here that I want to share with you about Osama Bin Laden. Now, I had heard, and I used to travel as a salesman before I was the president of a company running it, but I used to travel all over the world, but I had to go to North Carolina a lot, to Charlotte, North Carolina, because that's the headquarters of Family Dollar, and I would also go to Lowe's, which is over in Worksboro. But anyway, there's it's amazing how I even ran into Marty Stewart once in the country singer in the Charlotte airport. But anyway, it's amazing how God can cross paths with people. Now here's a story about Osama Bin Laden. Where is Osama Bin Laden? Some people say he's still alive. He lives in Pakistan. Some people says he's still in the mountains of Afghanistan. Some folks believe he's dead. But this is a fascinating story. Let me read this to you from Perry Stone. He writes, at the onset of the war in Afghanistan, Bin Laden was operating his organization while hiding in a cave in the rugged mountains of Afghanistan. We know that's true. Some believe that early in the war, when the ceasefire was called between the Taliban and the U.S. forces, this brief frame time gave the world's most wanted man time to escape across the border to neighboring Pakistan and to a radical tribal area that even the Pakistani army is hesitant to enter. And it's very possible that's what he did. As the war in Afghanistan continued and many of the mountain areas were searched, U.S. soldiers found caves with low-level military supplies, but the majority of the fighters had been killed or had fled, and there was no trace of Osama Bin Laden. Now, it has been suggested that he is able to travel across the border region and through various mountain tunnels that serve as drug smuggling links between countries. The landmass is so large and the terrain is so rugged and harsh that some regions are reachable only by foot or by an animal such as a donkey. Now, only natives in the area, having lived for generations in this rough territory, are able to continually survive and thrive. Recently, though, there has been a report was released from the Turkish intelligence indicating that Osama bin Laden has been living in a mountain villa in Iran. Now, this is recent Turkish intelligence. And that he lives in this mountain villa in Iran, but near the Afghan border, which proximity could work. When I heard this report, said Perry Stone, I was reminded of a gentleman from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's an Iranian man who has lived in America for almost 30 years, but still has some family living in Iran. 2 years ago, he was driving me to a television interview, said Perry Stone, and I asked him questions about Iran and the war in Afghanistan. When I asked him where he believed Osama bin Laden was hiding, without hesitation he said, "Oh, he lives in Iran." He told me that the people in the country know that he's there and that he's being protected in a villa in the mountains. This is mind-boggling information. In the days of WikiLeaks, again, this is a Perry Stone. I got this from a Perry Stone Voice of Evangelism magazine that he puts out once a month. It's free. I'm not endorsing any products here, but that is the source of this news story. Now, let me just say something to you that it's amazing in the era of WikiLeaks, telling us how the Saudi Arabian King Abdullah wanted America to cut off the head of the snake by cutting off Iran's nuclear power program. How that in WikiLeaks there's all types of information that diplomats say about one another and how they feel. There's even some reports coming out today that there's information of the fall of North Korea, and it's expected that North Korea would collapse 2 years after the death of Kim Jong-il. Of course, I'm not so sure about that. I think that his son Kim Jong-nam, or I think it's Kim Jong-nam, I have to look that up again. Anyway, that he is getting positioned to be in charge. I'm sure that the Chinese government have a lot at stake propping up and maintaining North Korea. So, having said all these things, in an era of information, it's amazing to me that the world's most wanted man can't be located by the Central Intelligence Agencies of the United States of America, that he can't be located by the intelligence of our allies in the region of the Middle East. No. We know pretty well where he's at, and it's a rumor. You just ask the people on the street, they'll basically tell you. He's living in the mountain region in Iran, just across the border from Afghanistan, high in the mountains in a villa protected. You know, he's on, he has kidney failure, so he's on dialysis, and has been on dialysis now for 8-9 years. His lifespan cannot be much longer. And many people think he's dead, that he is dead already. But I think it's fascinating with all the intellectual satellites and all of the agencies and all of the era of technology. It's still word of mouth. It's still probably the best way to get the truth. Well, here's my question to Ahmadinejad, the president of Iran. If Osama Bin Laden is living in your country, you know about it. And I know people are going to tell me, look, Ahmadinejad doesn't really run Iran. It's the Khomeinis. It's the clerics of the Muslim Islamic faith. Yeah, whatever. But you can't be the president of a country and not know that the most wanted fugitive in the world lives in your country. Of course, Ahmadinejad knows he's living there. And he will do everything in his power to protect him, because they believe that Osama bin Laden is almost as much as important a prophet as Muhammad was himself. Matter of fact, some people quote his words, and it's being said that there's manuscripts being written on the holy words of Osama bin Laden. That's how much esteem he is receiving within the Islamic faith. Also, Ahmadinejad has said on 7 different occasions that he wants to blow Israel or blow Jerusalem off the face of the map. He wants to blow up and destroy the state of Israel because he wants to usher in. He wants to be the one that ushers in the 12th Imam. He believes that the Mahdi is leading him in these end times and prophetic wisdom. And thus, he doesn't see anyone stopping him from fulfilling his prophetic destiny. So, for him to have Osama bin Laden living in a villa in the mountains of his great country, it's just one more sign to him. It's just one more confirmation that he must fulfill his destiny, and that is to destroy the state of Israel. And that is why he's building the nuclear weapons and the nuclear warfare that he is trying to propose and prepare for. And the world, you think it's dangerous right now in Asia with North Korea and South Korea and China and Russia and Japan and America? It's not even, that's not a tenth as in dangerous as the friction and the biblical proportions and the rise of the beast that we're on the brink of between Iran and Israel. I'm Paul Begley. Ponder and study on these things.